Well, Renee, here's a newly constructed home. We're actually in the garage. Here's the common wall, shared space between the living space and the garage. It's going to be insulated, but what about the rest of the garage? Should someone consider insulating their garage?
That is a great question, and it's a question that we get all the time. So here we have a wall in a garage that is not insulated. One of the things that you really need to think about whether or not to insulate your garage is what are you using the space for? Are you going to heat it full time? Is it going to be used as a workshop? Then definitely insulate it, yes. If you're going to even heat it part time, where you think you might do a couple projects out here but not necessarily heat it full time, still insulate it, because if you're going to put a space heater out here and just to make it more comfortable while you're doing those projects, the insulation is going to help hold in that heat and make a difference. You also don't have to decide right away. If you're not going to drywall it, maybe it's a project that can be put on hold, and down the road when you actually know what you're going to use the space for, then you can decide.
So it really depends on your situation. Give some thought. Are you going to use it?
Right.
Then you probably want to insulate it. I know that when I built a couple years ago, talked to you guys, we insulated it, and boy, am I glad I did. One of the biggest benefits I noticed is in the wintertime. We're not heating our garage, but the vehicles seem to be much warmer from the get-go.
Yes, and that is exactly right. That's the case with my garage as well.
Sure, so we're talking creature comfort here. That's the biggest benefit. What are the options for someone, whether it's a new construction or an existing home?
Great question. There are 3 options that we can do in these wall cavities. So one option is spray foam. That is going to be your most expensive choice. And because this is not a living space, we typically do not recommend spray foaming in a garage.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah. The most common method that we do is the fiberglass bat. I'd say probably 90% of garages that we do use an R13 in the wall, and we put an R25 blown in the ceiling. And that's going to be your most cost effective because, again, it's not a living space like a house. If you are heating the garage full time, one final kind of middle option that you could do is a blown-in blanket system where we put up a fabric mesh and dense pack insulation into this wall cavity so that you get a little higher R value.
So again, it seems like to me as a homeowner, sit back, review your situation, talk to a professional. There's different options there. Seems to me that you want to do something rather than nothing.
Right.
And fair to say it costs less than you'd think to insulate?
You're exactly right. And again, try and just think about what you're going to use the space for, and we can help you choose the right method.
For more information on this and other energy-saving ideas, be sure to check out the full video library at rockweilerinsulation.com.